What time is it?
5:30, sir.
No, it's not. It's party time. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to part 2 as we celebrate the launch of Joe Frankenstein. Wow. I can't get over how well this sucker's been doing today. I think this is the latest. Let me refresh here and we'll see. 22,660 with 420 backers. That's really incredible. And I can't thank you guys enough. And thanks for coming back to party with me tonight. Let's see who's here. Looks like there's a good crowd. Dan Genovese is back. Round 2, let's go, he says. The Angry Gamer. Hale, he's backer number 478. James Murphy, backer number 162, or something like that. I know. All I know is I got the Nolan cover on the secret link. Excellent. Dr. Mask is back. Excellent, excellent. Backer number 2, but he's thinking of backing the CGC one too. Yeah. That way, you get Chuck's DNA on it as he delivers it in Sarasota to the guys. Randy Howell is back too, and he's back at 168. And yes, I paid for shipping. Yeah, old man Nolan made another bonehead mistake when he was getting everything set up. You know, as a last minute thing, I wanted to put the I had to put together the secret perks for the people that signed up. And as I was doing that, you know, there's so much stuff you got to fill out, and you got to copy and paste. They don't make it super easy. And I forgot to put the postage in there. So some people got some free shipping, but not as many as the last time I did it. I think I lost $200 in shipping when I made that mistake last time. One of these days. Dr. Mass says the shipping was on his. Good. Indiegogo tricked me out of $6. Oh, was that the tip? Was that or added in there? Yeah, that's such a sneaky damn thing. Hyper Kaiju says, it sounds as good a time as any for a Woodford. Yes, sir. And that is exactly what I have here in my Woodford Reserve glass, too. So let's do a cheers to all of you in the chat, all the backers, and to Joe Frankenstein. Yum, yum. I'm sure you've heard, Hyper Kaiju, about the passing of Rico Browning. When I look at your avatar there, which looking at the eyes, that's from the first Creature movie. And I'm seeing the cave edge at the background. So that's probably Ben Chapman. Ben Chapman played the creature in all the land scenes, and Rico Browning played him in the underwater scenes. Because Chapman was like 6'5" or 6'6", and they needed a bigger presence. Browning wasn't small; he was like 6'1". But yeah, so he was 93 and passed. Fritzy Schnizzle, who backed his first Compass Comics project today. So thank you, sir. Savoir-faire is everywhere. Cheers to the chat. Yes, he is. I used to love that cartoon. Savoir-faire is everywhere. Marcus Killigrew is here. Angry Gamer. I think I said that. Some guys going back and forth about the tip. Angry Gamer says the cover decision was a tough one. No, it's not. You just get the Double Trouble package. Problem solved. Dan Genovese is going to man up. He's going to have some whiskey with us. Excellent. Repairman Jack, MB Bonner, says ahoy Comicsgate. Leg Kick 1 is here. Nice, nice. Gigadeath, the graphic novel. Hale Graham, Comicsgate, and chat. Very nice. Oh, 200 Watt Studios. Thank you for that $2 super chat. Hale Guru Graham. How much cheese a day can I eat? Well, you don't want to eat a ton of it. You want to get your fat from animal products. I mean, yeah, technically cheese is, it's milk from a cow, but I eat it. To enhance the fat content, I'll put in like ground beef. I'll cook up ground beef and onions in a pan, throw a whole bunch of shredded cheddar in there, let that melt in there, and boom, boom. Which I just finished a ribeye and a half for dinner. It was delicious. I hadn't eaten all day. I did a little intermittent fasting today. And I tell you, I wasn't that hungry either. But once I started snapping into that steak, I got hungry. Timmy Mello is here. Holy Hand Grenades is back. Excellent. Dr. Mass says he's been to a lot of cons and has never seen Dixon at one, so it is worth it. Yeah, Chuck doesn't do a lot of shows anymore. In fact, he hardly does any. And if he does them, he sticks to in-state, which would be Florida. He's local. He'll do local shows, Tampa area, but not too many. I think it's tough on writers at the shows, unless they bring like a ton of, stuff that they had worked on to lug around and sell. It's not like they do sketches or sell posters of their artwork, all that kind of stuff. So I think it's a little harder on writers at the cons. Financially, I should say. Oh, Dan bought me a cigar to cover the shipping. I don't know if you saw my post, but I smoked a cigar today on the porch after our stream. It was 51 degrees. The sun was out, and I decided to sit out there and have a celebratory cigar. So we'll call that one yours, Dan. Fritzy Schnitzel is backer 257. And who is backer number 1? Dan Frege. Frege boom. Blackjack is here. He says, hail CG. Yeah. They're pre-selected. Holy Hand Grenades with their pre-selected tip. IGG is vile. Yeah. There's some other stuff in the works that we're going to be exploring down the road for future campaigns. Oh, you know what I wanted to mention? Was somebody in the chat in the afternoon show had asked about the progress on the Shanu plushie. And after me raising the hackles on them, there's actually been quite a lot of progress. I'm just about ready to get a prototype sent to me. So all the shape, the stitching, the fur, all that stuff has been approved, and it's looking really great. The one problem I had was the heart, because the Shanu is going to be holding a heart, but it's a little stuffed animal thing. And one of the things they said was, once we can build some wires into the hands and stuff, and I didn't want that. I want the thing to be soft and still be cute. And what they had used was like a cutout piece of felt for the heart. It kind of had no dimension to it. So I had them build a 3-dimensional one, like a stuffed, it's stuffed with fluff in there. And so now it's a rounded heart. Then we're going to put the Velcro on it and have the Velcro stick to his palm, and then his little claws will be around it. So I'm waiting to see that, the photos of that. Once that's approved, then the prototype will be made and be sent to me. And if everything is up to snuff, I'll give the green light and they'll go into production. And I think the production happens pretty quick after that. The Shinu plushie will not be an Indiegogo thing. It'll be strictly on the Compass Comics website. So it'll be, it's not going to be a campaign. I'll have already bought the plushies, and I'll have them in stock. So when you guys get the notice, they'll be available immediately, and you can place the order through the Compass Comics website, and it'll be shipped out, forthwith, if you will. Hell yeah, drink. Congrats, Nolan. Okay, well, who am I to say no? Yeah, boy. Angry Gamer says he can't have a drink right now. The bosses would probably frown on it. Okay. You can have one later. Jeff Butler says, rest in peace, Rico. I never met Rico. I did meet Ben Chapman, but I never met Rico. And I met Julie Adams, too. Dr. Mask reminds us that, and the Angry Gamer, that there's always other jobs. Anti-Entity says, he heard they passed, or she. Huh. Rob Bill is trying to find my Transformers comic that I did for Marvel, number 16. Yes, word. You got to watch out for that IGG tip, before you click final checkout and everything. Just make sure all the stuff is properly checked and certain things are not checked. Dr. Mask, thank you for posting that. Check out Compass Comics site for some more great books. Yeah, we still have copies of Two-Fisted Manly Tales and the Shinu. Kirk Ferguson reminds us that Browning did all the underwater direction on Thunderball. That's right. I think he also worked on Sea Hunt, too. Jay Dredd, hey Graham, hail Comics Gate. Young Graham Nolan is streaming. All right, buddy. I don't know about young. In fact, I'll be 61 in a week and a half, something like that. March 12th. Holy Hand Grenades is saying you shouldn't eat all that cheese. Cheese milk is designed for growing baby cows, not humans, and certainly not adult humans. Fine saturated fat, plenty of vitamins in it, but it's not the optimal source of nutrition. Let's just leave it at that. Oh yeah, I'm with that. Oh, here we go. Sorry, David, I didn't see this. David G for $4.99 super chat. Thank you, brother. Back 3 times today, Graham. Backers numbers 35, 193, and 373. Double Trouble times 2 and 1 slab. Oh, very, very nice. Thank you, sir. I remember when I was young and tried a cigar, I thought you could inhale them too. I learned the hard way. We were at the Terrificon one year. This is pre-pandemic. So it might have been 2019, 2018. And Billy and I and some friends went outside to have some cigars. And none of us had a lighter. It was windy. We had some matches, but the matches kept blowing out. So Billy goes inside, and he comes back out with this woman who's smoking a cigarette. And so she's got a lighter, and she allows us to use it. And she's from France, and she's pretty lit up. And she's like, "Oh, you boys, you're having the cigars. I have never had this cigar. And we go, oh, you want to try one? She goes, oh, yes. She goes like this. She goes, takes it in, and then blows all the smoke out her nose. And we're like, no, 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 no. You're not supposed to inhale it. She goes, no, no. Didn't phase her. Didn't phase her. Oh, my goodness. Oh, Dan Lawless. Hey, bud. Congrats, Graham, on a great launch. Thank you. Kirk Ferguson, come Friday, i.e. payday. I'll be ordering me some Joe Frankenstein. Very nice. Very nice. Kirk, if you have the sign up link, just a reminder that that goes dead at noon on Friday. There's a 48-hour window for everybody who signed up to go in and get the books so that they can get the signed card and be put at the front of the line for fulfillment. But there's a time limit on it. It does end at noon on Friday. So that's noon Eastern time, FYI. JD Kirby wants to know if I'll be doing any classic monster movie reviews anytime soon. I've been getting the itch for it. I'll tell you that. The problem is I don't want to blow through a bunch of them that I could be using for the 31 Days of Monsters, because the more years I do it, I start to run out of. I start to run out of, good choices. So I'm trying not to blow through that list too quick. I saw something recently, though, I will say, on, you know how, what's that horror channel? It's not Shock. Shudder. On Shudder, I turn it on and they have Shudder TV running, so it's like whatever they're streaming live at that point. And there was this Dutch film. God, what was it called? I can't remember what it was called now, but it was really creepy. I'm planning on looking it up, and why I only caught like the last half hour of it, but that's one I want to look up and definitely use for 31 Days of Monster. Here on the Steadfast is here. Hello, hello. Past Master Dan, hello. Excellent. We got a great chat here. Chris Thacker, congrats. I'm proud to be back at 240 and 246, and I'm proud to have you, my friend. You mean this site? Yes, that'd be the one. Take the plushies to cons. They will sell. If I have some left over, I will. Bob Gable is here. I've heard a lot of buzzing, so why don't we go back over here? Let's see what we got. See if there's been any movement. 22,660 with 420 backers. I'm always interested in the backer number. Whoa, up to 23. Wow, very, very nice. Very, very nice. There's some love for the old flathead here, huh? I love that. Frankenstein was always my favorite monster as a kid, and it was Boris Karloff. I still think that the 1931 Karloff film is my all-time favorite. I go back and forth on some of these other Universal monsters, but I always come back to Boris in the original. Perfect. Not a perfect movie. I mean, there's some issues, but the monster's perfect. When he shows up on the screen, that's when the movie is just okay. Can't take my eyes off it. Dan Genovese is on the ball here. He got nabbed for a couple of those tips, but now he's on it. Ha ha ha. You're older than me. Nothing wrong with getting old. It's the other alternative that sucks. Very true, Robert. Very true. Well, Dr. Mask, if you didn't get Giant Size Two-Fisted Man Tales, do it now. He got his signed by Bart Sears. Nice. Yeah, I'll be in Texas this weekend for a convention, so if you have any of my Compass Comics books, bring them in. We'll sign them up. Joseph Fazio, thank you for that $4.99 super chat. Number 510. Go, Graham. Thank you, Joseph. Big Dan. Hey, Dan. You know what, Dan? I meant to do this before we went live. I'm going to drop the link into the King's message board. So if you wanted to pop in here, great. Hold on a sec. Anybody want to stream? Edit, paste. There we go. So you can grab that if you wanted to come in, Dan. I have, Robert. After dinner, I thought about that, so I put that as an add-on for all the different. It was a bonehead mistake not to have it there. Slabbing was a great idea. Yeah, it came to me, so I contacted them, and as a professional, I can, I can get an account set up, and we're, obviously it's coming from me. The signature's already authenticated, and I get a discount, and then I pass that discount on to you guys. So, like on the slab versions of Ghost of Matacumba Key, those are a lot cheaper than if you had me sign it at a convention, had it witnessed, and had them package it and all that kind of stuff. But it's really cool to have. Yeah, I did some tests to see how they would come out. So I had a few of my earlier books slabbed up. So we have, there's the Shinu. I'm trying to get it without all the light on it. Oh, the light's coming from the computer. So it came back as a 9.8. All the new stuff pretty much is going to be a 9.8. I don't think they ever give 10s. There's absolutely nothing wrong. There's every corner is sharp and all that kind of stuff. I think they save 10s for like really good golden age books if they could find those. This one didn't come back as a 10.8 because it's 30 years old, but it came back as a 9.4. And the only reason there's a 9.4 on this is because the grader found a slight bit of rust on the inside staples. These Monster Islands were in boxes since 1998 in my basement. And, it's not humidity control or anything, so there was probably some moisture. So some moisture got in the metal, had a slight little bit of rust on it. But still, a 9.4 for a 30-year-old book. That's pretty good. Although, this one is also 30 years old, and it's got a 9.8. There's no rust on this. This is the ultra rare Monster Island book. This is what was a incentive book. So the only way to get this book, or the only way a retailer could get this book, was he had to order 10 copies of that one, and then he'd get one of these, and then he could mark the price up and sell it as an incentive or a giveaway or something like that. So there's not very many of these that were ever out on the market, and I have maybe a box of them here. These are going to go up for sale on when I run my Escape from Monster Island campaign. So these are going to be, there's going to be very, very limited because there's not that many of them. So there's ultra rare. And then the last one that I had done was the variant of the Shinu. So, yeah, these are really cool. They display nice, and I think it's kind of neat. Bob smokes cigarettes and he hates cigars. John Tancredi says he's got to order before Friday. Yeah, well, you've got till noon on Friday, Eastern Standard Time. Thank you, Dr. Mask, for plugging Chuck's website. Yeah, there was a moment there. Yeah, I don't know what goes on sometimes with the internet around here. Holy Hand Grenades loves Shudder. Well, that's cool. I watch it occasionally. The Shinu plushies. Don't tell me you haven't read the Shinu. The plushies in a heart-shaped box. Couldn't sell it. Couldn't put the comic in it. Rob says your appearance on the Real BBC and Friday Night Tights are the reason I found your channel. I've been a fan for years and glad you're still churning out stellar stuff. Well, thank you, Rob. I'm trying to branch out and to get in front of as many eyes as possible. And I love the Friday Night Tight guys and the Real BBC. They're just great people. I always have a lot of fun when I'm on their shows. So I'm glad that you discovered me there. I'm still alive. Still creating. Yeah. I'm a little behind here. Late 70s, 80s, WTOG Channel 44's Creature Feature would have on all the classics in Tampa. Oh, yeah. I used to watch Dr. Paul Bearer. He was on Channel 44. He used to do the Creature Feature stuff. I lived on the East Coast, on Space Coast, Indian Harbor Beach. And we used to get that channel, too. All right, so for any, I'll scoot down and grab some more. Wait, is this a super chat I missed? I did. Let me just scroll down here to the super chat real quick. 200 Watt Studios. Love the Famous Monsters magazine font on that cover. I used to write for Famous Monsters. Oh, no kidding. I love that magazine. I never ran across much of them when I was a kid. Where I was at that point, I lived on Long Island, and in the tri-state area, there was because they published it out of New York, was the Monster Times, and that was like their logo was like the New York Times, only scarier, and it was a newspaper like the New York Times. It was supposed to be like the newspaper for monster fans, and I think they're like 50 cents, 60 cents, something like that. I still have a bunch of them, and that's where I used to get my monster fix from. Great stuff. Great stuff. All right, so anybody who's tuning in here who has not seen the campaign, I think it's probably a good idea to show it. First, let's refresh it. 23155. 23530. Nice. Nice. So this campaign is what I call a down and dirty, meaning that it's only running 30 days. There's no in demand. And, this is the time to get it now because If this book is available in the Part 2 campaign, it's going to be more expensive. If it's on the website, it's going to be more expensive. The campaign prices are always the cheapest, and you get all the goodies in it. So what I wanted to do with this one, because it is fast and furious, partially because the work is already done. We just have to have it lettered and then formatted and then, well, off to the printer, which is why I want to fulfill no later than June, possibly sooner if we can line up with a printer on a good schedule. But so I want you guys to have this book, and I want to fulfill this, get the second book up and running as soon as this one is, as soon as this one closes at the end of March, like in that first week of April. I want to get Part 2 up so that way we're fulfilling the first one while the other one's running, and then we'll fulfill the second one and get that to everybody before we fulfill on the Ghosts of Matacumba Key. Because I want everybody to read Joe Frankenstein before Ghosts of Matacumba Key comes out. You'll find out why later. So here's a little bit about the background. It was created by me and Chuck Dixon, and it's originally was published by IDW back in 2015. They did a okay job on it. I thought the hardcover turned out pretty good, but the lettering I didn't care for, and I didn't care for the floppies. Lots of ads and stuff, and once we got the rights, returned to us, it was important for me to get it published under the Compass Comics banner, and that way I can keep my universe all together, all under Compass Comics. And there's going to be new Joe stories. Now that Compass Comics is doing well, I'm able to plan the future stories. So Chuck and I are going to be getting down and writing that after I get done with Matacumba Key. So new Joe coming, but there's a lot of people that haven't read the original Joe because IDW didn't do any promotion for it, and like a lot of things, it just kind of sits out there and dies on the vine. But not so now. And the other thing I wanted to do was I didn't want to have to do stretch goals where, you wait to get to certain numbers before you get to certain things. Because this thing is going to be quick. I want the quality and the goodies there right up front so that that whether we set the minimum at $500 for this. Now, obviously, we've blown past it. But I want to make sure that everybody gets all the cool stuff, which would be the is it? It's the next one down, I guess. There it is. The bookmark, the vinyl logo sticker, the upgraded paper, the spot UV, and the matte finish on the cover as well. The stuff that I think really separates the Compass Comics books when you hold them and you feel that kind of velvety feel. But then you have that shiny spot UV on things. So we're going to put a spot UV right on Joe here, and then on the logos. I always do the logos on my books. And then, a focal point. And I think it'd be really cool to have Joe, in that gloss. So that all is all built into it. And then the CG folks were nice enough to mock this up for us. So there's not a lot of perks, obviously. It's there's the main cover, there's the variant cover, there's the package of the two, and then there's the CGC signed one. So it's pretty simple, pretty straightforward. And what I'm seeing here is basically we're pushing the books. We're not pushing tchotchkes, merch, hats, shirts, that kind of stuff. So this is working out really well. Oh, Jesus. Julie, the fulfillment queen, has just come down to tell me that I never shared the screen. What a dope. What a maroon. Oh, Lord. This has been a day of mistakes for me. I can tell you that. I almost kicked myself out of the original broadcast. How about that? I mean, my computer froze up when I tried to go full screen on the video, and all of a sudden, I couldn't get back in. I'm hitting, command option, escape, all this, nothing happened. So I ended up getting knocked out, but thankfully the guys were still in there holding court, and I popped back in and we saved the day. But okay, why don't we try this again? Up, 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 up. Well, I mean, it's not like you haven't seen these images. But so here's the various perks. You got the choice of the variant and the main cover together or separately, or the CG cover. So if you go to the site, this will tell you a little bit about the character. 64 pages of story. It'll be a 72-page book because it's going to have sketches. And one of the cool things, I think, which wasn't in any of the other books, was the history of the logo. This logo right here was designed by Gaspar Saladino, a legend in comic book logos. If you've ever read comics, you've seen his logos. He was particularly known for the horror titles, things like Swamp Thing, Ghost Rider, Frankenstein's monster. He also did superhero titles too. Just a plethora of wonderful lettering and logos. And, Gaspar was like 80 something years old. And this is one of the last logos that he ever designed. And I want to honor him in the book because of how great he has been to the industry. And when I looked at the logos that this guy had designed, it was like a who's who of my childhood. So cool. So it was really neat to work with him. And you can scroll down and get the first 9 or 10 pages to see some of the new lettering. For one thing, looks a lot better than the old one. We got our old Compass Comics buddy, Carlos Manguel, is doing the lettering, and he's redone all the sound effects, everything. Word balloons. The placement is better. The shapes of them are better. The air around them is better. Sounds silly, but these are important things when you're creating word balloons. So lots of action. It's a fun scene here because it's not the heat of the pie, it's the garlic. So even the pepperoni's got garlic in it. And one of the things I wanted Carlos to do was to give the monster his own unique word balloons. And he did. This is kind of a scary balloon, which is really, really cool. And then on this page, in the original, it was just a typeface with some wonky stretched out balloon around it. And now we got the logo and we got his really cool shape. So that's that for anybody that hasn't seen it. I hope that actually came through. What's the tally so far? Let us see. Let's see. 23,745. We're closing in on 24 with 440 backers. That's great. That's great because it's all comics. It's all comics. I love that. And I'm glad folks are supporting that. So here's the comics. Oh, okay. Evidently, I had a super chat I missed. Oh, let me scoot back here. Oh, here we go. Couple, actually. 200-watt studio. Love the famous. Oh, no, I read that one. Oh, this one. H for Heretic. He forgot about the secret perk link. Corrected. Okay, cool. Yeah, I messed that up too. That was another one of my goofs. You know, you can't launch one of these things without something going wrong. I guarantee you. Hey, now. What is this? Come on, you. Roscoe Nerd Wedgie. I'm always in for a Compass Comics campaign. They never disappoint. Thank you, brother. That is greatly appreciated. We aims to please. You know, we're as passionate about comics as you guys are. Yes, it's a business, but you got to be passionate about your business. Joseph Fazio, $4.99 super chat. Thank you. Sorry, Graham, forgot about the link. Refunded, then reestablished. Number 529. Check your email for the links, people. Yeah, and while we're talking about that, you had a second email with the links because I messed up on the first email. The Nolan cover didn't have any shipping on it. So a few of those went out with no shipping. So I cut that one off, fixed it, put the new link in, and then sent that out. So it would be a link that would, with the timestamp on it, it would be around like 12:05, something like that. The other one was like 11:45. So if the link is after noon, after 12, you're good. That's the one. Admiral Wackass, congrats on the launch, Graham. Thank you. This is why you need someone with you. Invite someone in. I did. I put the link up in a group. People are busy. Paul Taylor wants to know if Ethan the inspiration for saving the guy with pie. Ethan's gone carnivore. He's not eating pie. Oni's going to come back for CGC graded. Nice. Oh, this is nice to hear, Fat Samurai. Your Batman work helped getting me back to the forgotten hobby I loved as a kid. Thanks. That's very cool. The artist formerly known as Hey Mike. Mike. At the kumquats. Back to Double Trouble tier earlier. Don't remember backer number. I was busy with work at the time, but I got your back. Thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate it, because when you do those day streams like that, start off at lunch hour because I figure, most people are at lunch at that point and they got a few minutes, while they're eating. But we had a heck of a crowd in here for 3 hours, which was fantastic. Really, really appreciated it. It was a lot of fun. We getting a JF versus Shinu cage match in the future? I don't think so. Although I have been kicking around some ideas for a follow-up to the Shinu. I know I said I wasn't going to do sequels. But sometimes if you got a great story, you got to use it. We'll see. I got a lot of stuff, that's got to come first. Because I've got, Joe Frankenstein Part 2. I've got to finish Ghost of Matacumba Key. Then we're going to be republishing Return to Monster Island under the Compass Comics banner. uh, and Monster Island, and then the new one would be Escape from Monster Island. So all the other, just like with Joe Frank, where while all those other two are already done, and we can get those out quickly. I'm going to do the same with Monster Island. Get those out quickly while I work on the third part of the trilogy, Escape from Monster Island. Well, thank you, Eli Munoz. He wants to see more Alien Alamo. He loved the storytelling and pacing. I've got a sweet spot in my heart for that story. What if any perks can be? No perks, Dan. Past Master Dan. If you look on the site, it'll say there are. Well, you're talking about stretch goals. What if any stretch goals can be unlocked? Because perks don't get unlocked. But there are no stretch goals. Everything already comes with it. The stuff that I usually do: stickers, upgrades, and stickers. So all those already come with it. That's right. We want these people. Every once in a while, I'll pick up I'll see something posted about a colleague that dropped dead. And they're not that old. So I have sort of made it my mission to kind of get people moving and examine their diet, because that is key. The diet is so much more important than anything else. I guess I did it wrong. You have another link with extras and signature. Well, the secret link went out to everybody who signed up for the pre-launch. And so that secret link gets you the signed trading card and puts you at the top of the list for fulfillment. So I think that's what you mean by extras. So if you had signed up, you should have gotten a link that had, or an email that had links to the various perks where you could claim that. Well, the only one that didn't have the shipping on it was the Nolan cover, my cover. All the other ones were done properly. So if you back the Nolan cover and you were charged shipping, then you got the right link. Here's some bullets says CG shows up for Kings. Yeah, but where are the Kings? I put a link in the Kings group that we have on Twitter. Those bastards are leaving me out to dry. Well, who needs them? We have each other, right? Admiral Wackass backer number 532 at the Double Trouble. Bow. Really looking forward to Joe Frank and Ghosts of Matacumba. You are an amazing storyteller, Graham. Keep them coming. Thank you, sir. I am going to do that. Attaboy, Dan. Yeah, the secret link still charges shipping for Double Trouble, but whatever. Well, yeah, there was shipping was supposed to be on all of the links. That's not what the sign up in the secret link were for. That's the secret link were for the signed card and the bump up to shipping preferred status. Fat Samurai wants the professionals to live forever. I love those guys. We have a very special show, I think, because we genuinely have each other's back and really, really like each other. Um, and a good portion of the bros are going to be at that New Jersey convention in July, I think it is. Dan Frage is going to be there. Well, I'll be meeting him in person for the first time. Andy will be there. Billy will be there. I'll be there. The only two that aren't going to be there are Art and Aaron. So it's going to be Ethan's going to be there too. So make sure you pack your Hawaiian shirts and cigars because the Grave Nolan Hawaiian shirt and cigar Whiskey Fest will go on Saturday night at 10 o'clock at that hotel. That's going to be a lot of fun. Okay, you use the right link. Excellent. What whiskey am I drinking? I'm drinking bourbon whiskey. It is Woodford Reserve. Yep. There it is. Woodford Reserve. That's my go-to. I'd like to get some Blantons, but it's really hard to find. But I do like Woodford. I need to whine more like Ethan does. Then people show up. I'm not a whiner. I drink wine. You have to be happy with yourself. If nobody shows, nobody shows. I had a great turnout in the afternoon show, right in the middle of the day. Good group of guys came out, so that was great. Well, Dr. Mask has to bail, family stuff. Good luck, and everyone back here. Thank you, Dr. Mask. You have a great evening with your family, and I thank you for all your support and for, coming to the chats and supporting the shows too. So have a great night, pal. Bourbon's not really a thing in Canada. We have rye. Yeah. Bourbon is uniquely American. In fact, it has to be made in America. It's one of the tenets of bourbon. It has to be made in America. It has to have be made with 51% corn, and it has to be aged in brand new toasted oak casks, not caskets. and it has to be made in the United States. That's what differentiates it. And bourbon is the only whiskey whose color is natural. Like, I don't know if you guys know that. Because when you distill spirits, it's typically clear. But it's that aging in that toasted oak cask that gives bourbon its natural color. So dropping the truth bombs, people. The furnace is tomorrow. I got to replace my furnace. Not happy about that. But I got 18 years out of it. It's been a workhorse. There's never been a problem with it in 18 years. And but I have it serviced every year, and the service guy came out to clean up and check it and everything, and found a gas leak in a valve that isn't made anymore. And the plastic housing on a motor has got a crack in it, and condensation water is coming and dripping down, and it's eventually going to get into the motherboard and destroy the whole damn thing. So they're coming tomorrow morning to put a new high efficiency furnace in to replace that one, and they ain't cheap. No, Rob, bourbon does not have to be made in Kentucky. It used to be, but now it only has to be made in the United States. That used to be one of the tenets, and they changed that. Yeah, good luck finding Blantons. Personally, I enjoy Michner's. Not sure if I've had Mickner's. I have to give that a whirl. Other than Monster Island and Joe Frankenstein, what other stories can we expect in the Nolanverse? Well, just those two alone are going to take me out quite a ways. Of course, the Ghost of Metacomba Key, which is currently funding. But beyond those right now, I don't have in a publishing plan just yet, because there's 3 Monster Island books that have to get done. 2 of them are reprints, of course. There's 2 Joe Frankenstein books, and then we're going to start new ones. And in most of these things, I'm doing everything on it, so it takes time, and so it takes a while to put out other stuff. But I think that's a pretty good number of books within a short period of time. So after that, as I start winding down some of those, then I'll start giving thought to other ideas and how I want to incorporate that. But that's the fun of it. It's an organic process, All right, let's do a little refresh here. Somebody give me the Ed McMahon timpani. Oh, 24. Nice. 448 backers. Wow. And we've only been live 9 hours. Not too shabby. Nice. What does my furnace burn? My money. About $7,000 worth. Natural gas. Yeah, the guy said 18 years is a good run. Typically, you get about 15 out of these things. And not to have a single issue go wrong with it in 18 years, that's pretty good. Oh, Jameson's great. Irish whiskey is one of my favorites. I'm a Tullymore Dew guy when it comes to Irish whiskey, but the Jameson's good too. Do you ever have Writer's Tears? That's such a perfect Irish name for a whiskey. Gig of Death, the graphic novel. I've ever tried Absinthe. No. Lasagna Cat. Glad I caught the stream. Almost forgot to use the secret link. Hopefully, I can catch you at a con someday for a sketch in my Devil's Advocate. I appreciate all your work. Excellent. Devil's Advocate is the greatest Joker story nobody's ever read. And whenever somebody comes up at a convention with the hardcover version, Chuck and I both do free sketches in the book. Southern Cecil, thank you, bro. He backed the book and he got me a cigar. I've smoked cigars with Southern Cecil. You going to be at TampaCon? A bunch of CGers are going to be meeting up there. Oh, you had to replace the AC too, huh? Oof. I still have the original AC when I built this house, so it's 30 years old. But it's been a workhorse, and obviously don't use it like we would if we were in Florida or Texas or something like that. So it doesn't get that amount of hours on it, but still lasting. I'm not gonna fool with it. I'll ride that horse into the ground. And like a Comanche, get him up, run him some more, and then eat him. I haven't read the brief for Frankenstein stuff. I've seen him. He did like 2 versions. He did like the serious version, and then he did like the goofy, cartoony version with the little pug nose thing. I was never attracted to that. either style of his. So I hadn't read that. No. Oh, omnibus or hardcovers in the future, sir? Yes, that is something I should have mentioned. That once Escape from Monster Island comes out, there will be a hardcover omnibus collecting the entire Monster Island trilogy. And then once we get a couple more, Joe books under our belts, we'll collect that too. And then eventually, what we may do is like the ultimate, Compass Comics omnibus that just has everything in it. There'll be a 7-day waiting period to buy that thing because it'll be so deadly. I don't have Monster Island. Do I need to try to pick? No. You can get other versions of it, but wait till the Compass Comics version comes out, and then you'll have them. They'll all match together, so it won't be a hodgepodge. Everything will be looking perfect on your shelf, and you'll have the opportunity when the other Monster Island stuff comes out to get, the original Monster Island and Return to Monster Island, with Escape from Monster Island. So yeah, don't worry about it. You'll have plenty of opportunity to get all three. Rusty Baker, Private Eye. Thank you, Graham, and congrats on your launch. Thank you. Thank you, Dick Tracy. Oh, Past Master Dan, thank you again for reminding everybody to please tweet and share, hit that like button, hit that notification button, and subscribe to this channel. His furnace is at 17 this year. Tully, drinking the dew. Talking about absinthe, I think. It's like drinking Absorbine Junior. I do not, Delaware Comics Dude, have any copies of Return to Monster Island. I just have my copy. But fear not, they're coming. And again, you're going to want them all to match. What these independent successes like yours and Eric July, etc., shows that people want quality in their books, not what they're passing off as comic books at the big two. I couldn't agree more. They want quality and they want entertainment. They want to be entertained. They don't want to be talked down to. They don't want to be lectured to. I hate that stuff. And the market hates it too. But they keep doubling down on it. So as their numbers continue to crash, fortified only by movie money, which in DC's case isn't that great. But the passionate people, the hard workers that want to, because this is hard work. It's more than just spending hours at a desk drawing. It's doing this. It's talking to printers. It's lining up various vendors for things that you have to get done. It's a lot of work. Particularly, we're mostly one-man shows. Maybe our wives are involved too and help, like Julie is with me. She helps with a bunch of stuff, but primarily handles all the shipping and fulfillment, and she's great. But there's a lot of ancillary stuff that has to get done, and there's a lot of creatives that don't want to do that or can't do that. So I guess that's good because it keeps the competition down for those go-getters that want to do it. Pops, so happy for you, Graham. I just talked about Joe Frankenstein on a stream. Great to see the strong start. Oh, awesome. Ah, Fat Samurai's coming to New Jersey with his Devil's Advocate and some other Compass comic stuff. Sweet. Coming with a Hawaiian shirt. Yeah, I'm not going to Heroes Con. At least I'm not booked yet. I told my agent to get me in that one. Um, oh wait, I think there's a conflict. I think I'm at another convention. Maybe it's the Tampa Bay one when Heroes Con is going on, or is that Terrific Con? I can't remember. Tampa Comic Con in July. Yeah, that's it. Some of the cost of the furnace covered by home. No. No, that's something that's on you. If the furnace was damaged in some way, let's say your roof leaked and it went down to the basement and it destroyed your furnace, then it would be covered by homeowners insurance. Thinking up stuff is tough to do. Yeah, but when you were a creative person, your whole life, um, and you sit down to create something, yeah, then it's tough. But when you let your mind go, when you're doing other things, is when ideas come to you. I came up with the idea for the Canoe when I was driving my daughter to drop her off at college, and a storm was coming in over Lake Erie, and I noticed how foreboding it looked. And I pulled into a coffee shop and wrote the Canoe based on that. Alien Alamo, the idea for that came from I was binge watching the Rifleman, and I wanted to tell a story about a father and son with that really great strong relationship, that core relationship, um, and showcase what a good man and a good father can be, and what he needs to be for a young boy who is looking for that. Then, of course, I wrap it in science fiction, adventure, and stuff like that. And the Ghost of Madigan McKee came from a book I was reading called Last Train to Paradise. And it was a story about the construction of uh, the train that Henry Flagler built to run through the state of Florida and bring commerce down to the Florida Keys. And so part of the story and the hurdles that he had to overcome to build that was the Great Hurricane of 1935, which hit Matacumba Key. And it's the most powerful hurricane to ever hit the United States, ever, even to this day. An 18-foot wall of water washed from one end of the island to the other, knocking over trains and everything in its path. Had winds that gusted over 200 miles an hour, with sustained winds of like 175, something like that. I mean, things were blowing up. People caught out in it, had their faces blown off by sand, like sandblasting the skin off their faces. That's how powerful that storm was. And that's what gave me the idea for the Ghost of Matacumba Key. I've not yet read Monster Island. Are there other Universal Monster-inspired characters in the Nolanverse besides Joe Frankenstein? Uh, no, I would say no. I mean, I like monsters, uh, and in horror movies versus uh, slashers, maniacs, that kind of stuff. So all my horror stories always have a tinge of adventure to them too. And because one of my favorite films is a B movie. It was the movie that restarted the Universal Mummy franchise. It was called The Mummy's Hand. It had Dick Foran in it, and he was like the prototype of Indiana Jones. He was an archaeologist, and he was a two-fisted guy, and he had this sidekick with him, and they get involved in looking for this queen's, burial site, and then they unearth the mummy and blah blah blah. But I love that movie because it had humor, it had action, it had adventure, it had romance, and it had straight up horror. And those are the things, the elements I like to put in every one of my monster stories. Vic says, Zombie Sama is real manga-like, except borderline X-rated, but Billy is on the right path. I have the first Zombie Sama. I didn't notice any X-rated stuff in there. And there's violence. What con are you doing in Jersey? What is it? The North Jersey? I can never remember the names of these cons. It's in Morristown, New Jersey. North Jersey Comic Expo? Comic Art Expo? Something like that. Just do a Google search for, comic conventions in New Jersey. Here's a good question. Did you feel any urge to redraw or touch up? No, absolutely not. I thought it looked great. I still think it looks great. Oh, that's it. Garden State Comic Fest. Thank you, Delaware Comic Dude. Can't wait to see all the kings. Got to get Graham to sign my giant-sized two-fisted manly tales. Yeah. Let's get it done. Oh, Heroes Con is June 16th through 18th. Okay. Yeah, I think I got a conflict. Looking forward to seeing you at the Retro Expo. Not Frisco. It's in Dallas. At least that's where I'm flying. Yeah, it's in Allen, Texas, which is like North Dallas. So I hope you're there. Yeah, thank you, Sean. Garden State Comic Fest in Morristown, June 24th and 25th. Yeah, that's going to be so much fun. I don't have anything scheduled in Nashville. That's not too far from Andy and Frega. And Andy's in South Carolina. Andy's in North Carolina. Frega's in Georgia. I don't know if they're doing any. Son of Liberty says that grandparents are from Ireland, have made the pilgrimage to the homeland 5 times. Most Irish people won't drink any of the Irish whiskey brands sold in the U.S. I don't know why. It's not made in the U.S. Maybe when they ship it, it's not as good. It's how it was like with German beer. I remember being over there in 1979 in Munich, and I had Lowenbrau, or Löwenbräu as it's called, and it was delicious. And then you come over here and you get those green bottles of shit that just give you headaches. Terrible. Yeah. Yep. That's I don't do a lot of shows because I'm busy doing this. So I pick and choose the shows primarily because of A, they're a destination show, or B, I have friends that are going to be there. So those are the two things I look for. The Dallas area. I've done a few shows there, and I've always done well. And I like to go to Texas. and get some barbecue. so that one was a no-brainer. New Jersey, I can drive to that, and a lot of friends are going to be there. That's a good one. I like to do Terrificon for the same reason. And then and most shows in Florida, I like to do because I grew up down there, and I still have so many friends in various areas of Florida. So pretty much wherever the convention is, I can go see somebody and hang out. Yeah, let's do a refresh. We're chit chatting and having cocktails together, shall we? Cancel. All right, 24020, 24245. Very nice. This is a very wonderful start. And we still have 30 days left. I've got some big shows that I'm going to go on, promote it too, so that'll, I'm sure, will help. Everybody's doing their research. Yes, comics, Garden State. Yeah. Vaughn Coleman is here. Hello, Vaughn. Oh, he's going to be there too, I think. Rusty Baker says he loves The Rifleman. My dad and I love watching that on cable. I had no idea that The Rifleman helped to inspire you to create Alien Alamo. No wonder why I love that story so much. See? You hear the origins, huh? I don't know the answer to that, Sean. It's they might have it listed on the on their website, but if we're friends on Facebook, I'll be posting it there, and on Twitter as well. When we get that information, it's still a ways away. What? Says it was made at St. James Gate and imported. I mean, Guinness is now owned by Diego, like so many of the other companies. Got bought up, but I'll bet it tastes better in Dublin than it does in Dublin, Ohio. Well, thank you. Thank you, Stiplin. Graham is one of the nicest guys you'll meet at a con. When it's your turn to talk to you, he gives you all his attention. Well, thank you so much. I guess I was raised right. Oh, let me get out of there. Oh, yeah, and there's that. I can fish if I go to Florida. Admiral Wackass is going to try to make it. Excellent. Oh, Marcus hung out with Andy, Billy, and Rini at Heroes Con. Yeah. We like to have fun, just like everybody else. Aaron's a good guy. Yeah. Aaron and his wife and me and my wife went to Germany together. We were invited over to this convention, and that's where we met for the first time. Was over there. Just really, really great people. Shelly and Aaron are wonderful people. Salt of the earth, as they used to say. All right, my friends, I think we covered everybody in the chat here. It doesn't look like anybody's popping in. So I think we'll call this a night. I'm getting a little tired. It's been a long day. And I just want to thank all of you guys, particularly if you were here this afternoon and now you're back here now. That's fantastic. Oh, Colin says, just got my copy, Graham. Any chance you're using USPS for shipping to Canada? Yes, we use USPS for Canada shipping. We use USPS for everything. I'll give him a second. Let's see if he's going to respond. Oh, what is this? Well, thank you, Leg Kick One. All right. So that's it for tonight, gang. I got to get some rest. I got to deal with the furnace tomorrow. I don't know how much work I'm going to get done. Might get kind of cold here because we got to take the thing out and put the new one in. So, again, much appreciated. You guys are awesome. Bancrofts is streaming. Awesome. And I really do appreciate your support, not just the support and backing of the books, but your support by, your conversation. I feel like we're sitting around a kitchen table and having a great time together. And I hope you feel the same way when you tune into the content on my channel and stuff, and when we meet in person. So have a great night, everybody. Before we go, we're just going to do this one more time because it's fun. 24245. Wah, wah, wah. But there's nothing to be sad about. That's fantastic. Are you kidding me? So, all right, my brothers and sisters, you have a great night, and we'll catch you on the next broadcast. Have a good one. Bye-bye.